Welcome in Craft and Design 3.0 for my dear audience. In this video, I will describe some different and much beautiful idea of metal sculpture art or what is the use of metal in sculpture. So, dear audience, many questions arise in our mind when we talk about metal and sculpturing position or metal in sculpture, garden art. Then, what are the main types of sculpture, or what is the oldest metal sculpture in the world, or why is a sculpture in a garden? Different questions arise in our mind. So, dear audience, when we talk about what is the usage of metal in sculpture, then metal can be worked in a variety of way in order to produce sculpture. They can be cast that is metalled and melted and poured into molds, squeezed under pressure into dies as in coin making or work directly. For example, by hammering, bending, cutting, welding, and repose. So, as what are the main types of sculpture? Then the three main types of sculpture include assembly, carving, and modeling. Especially used in a garden metal sculpture art. I also used in my video. So, what is the oldest metal sculpture in the world? When we talk about the history of that metal sculpture, then two status of Pero or Pepi first are the oldest known life-size metal sculpture in the world. So they are dated to about 2300 BC and were excavated in 1897. So in 2001, after several year lasting process of restoration, conservation, and technological investigation of the status were documented geometrically. So as a when we talk about it, garden sculpture, especially I also used in my video for decorating our garden, decorating our small lawns. It can evoke an emotion or act as a focal point and create dialogue within a space. So the right sculpture can only enhance the overall experiences and add value to your garden or outdoor space. So garden sculpture offer contemporary pieces in bronze, stone, steel, glass, and ceramic, and especially I also used in a garden for metal, molding different molding point of view by molding it by or cutting by a squeeze hard by any different accessories, but in a weak iron we can mold it by easily or we cut it in a skisa. So one question is what is a metal sculpture? First of all, we also prescribe what is a metal sculpturing. Metal sculpturing or allow casting is the process of creating objects of metal by pouring liquid metal into molds to form them in sculptures or other items. So copper, brass, bronze, and aluminium are the most common materials poured into a molds. So which is mostly used for sculpture. The most material most used for sculpture is bronze, which is basically an alloy of copper and tin. But gold, silver, aluminium, copper, brass, lead, and iron have also been widely used in sculpturing process. So, what material is used to make a sculpture? Then, classic method of sculpturing usually call for clay, marble, wood, or bronze. However, any durable material can be used. Some of the more exotic material used are fabrics, glass, and even ice. So some materials that never find their way into the actual finished piece of art still play a critical role. So what are three material used in sculpture? I also firstly prescribe clay, bronze, and marble. Sculpture can be done with many materials depending on the type of sculpture. If metal, then it's a different type. If clay, then it's also a different. If bronze, if marble, it's clay. Different type we can use it. What are the four basic type of sculpture? There are four main types of classic sculpture and define. If we talk about a classical point of view, then define a material and artist chooses to use. So the four traditional material for creating a sculpture was stone carving, bronze casting, wood carving, or clay firing. There's also four basic for classical use of uh, materials. So when did the metal sculpture started? 7000 BC. There is evidence of metal art which goes all the way back to 7000 BC, and indeed it is thanks to a resilient nature of metal that some of the oldest items ever found in archaeological digs have been material art. Said where it is the largest metal sculpture in the world. Also, a question for my dear audience, my dear guys and ladies and gentlemen. The Enchanted Highway is a collection of world's largest scrap metal sculpture constructed by Gary Guyref at intervals along 32 miles, 51-kilometer stretches of a two-lane highway in the southwestern part of the U.S., also state of North Dakota. So, what is a sculpture in garden sculpture? How do we use garden sculpture? Then larger pieces act as focal point and draw the eye to an area. So abstract sculpture make great focal point because they can be seen from all angles. Choose something to evoke emotion and consider the view in front, around, and in distances. A smaller sculpture bring you close to the garden. So, what are the advantage of a metal sculpture? Then metal don't burn. We also question are highly repairable. Metal are also highly repairable and of a special interest to designer offer an numerous variety of finish possibility. And then how we make a metal sculpture also question. First of all, step one: choosing your sculpture or art of sculpture, design of sculpture. Then the first thing you need to do is to choose a subject matter or something to make a sculpture of. And then step two, gather material and tools for making a thing, making a sculpture, making a beautiful design of sculpture. Gather material or collect materials and tools for making or molding, or different welding point of view. We can use those tools. We can collect it or gather materials. Then step three is arc welding. We also weld it from different part like as a three dimension, four dimensions, and five dimension. Many different design and different types and different kinds, and we also called different designing point of view. So step four, okay, we oxygen and acetylene welding also we can use in these materials, and base building in step five we can use um, base building. How we can sanchez we can use. Then step six is sculpturing your sculpture as you design, as you made, in your mind, in your views or point of view, for different, like as a garden or different other parts. So step add-ons and so on, reviewing it. So, dear audience, I think that my video and my ideas are much inspired you. You are interesting in my video and my idea. I think if my video and my idea interesting for you, then subscribe my channel and like my video and share my video. So, thank you very much, guys. Once again, thank you very much.